Good morning. I'm talking to you on a snow day because the roads were too icy to go to work and too icy for my staff to drive, and I didn't want to have parents drive on icy roads. So I stayed home and have done chores. Well, during my chores, I do a little reading and some updating myself on news because every single day is a onslaught of not so good news if you are a doctor, and especially if you are a doctor that takes care of children, and especially if you're a doctor that takes care of children in low income areas like I do. So, let me just share this piece of information. Conservatives want to cut Medicaid. Medicaid funds Sooner Care. Sooner Care is Oklahoma's version of Medicaid. Last time I checked, Oklahoma relied on 75 to 80% of its funding from the federal government. So when they're saying 80 million low-income and disabled Americans, they're talking about a lot of Oklahomans. And they're saying it costs $870 billion in 2023. So that's old data. It's probably more like 880, 890 for the most recent fiscal year. So almost $1 trillion, a lot of money. But keep in mind, you're helping people. And if people are healthy and taken care of, they can go to work. If their kids are healthy and taken care of, they don't have to miss work. So it's good for the economy for us to take care of people. So my state will be disproportionately affected. Okay? Disproportionately affected because we rely on anywhere from 75 to 80% of our Medicaid funding, Sooner Care, to come from this appropriation. Now, people are going to say, well, we're just spending too much money and we need to spend less. And I'm like, that's great, as long as it doesn't affect you, huh? Well, in my county, over 75% voted for the current administration. And in my patient flow at my office, over 80% utilize Sooner Care. 80. So the very people that may have voted for the current administration, the very people that rely upon Sooner Care and rely upon federal dollars to fund Sooner Care, may lose their Sooner Care if the Republican majority of the House, the Republican majority in the Senate, and the Republican president all band together and cut Medicaid funding. So this is from NPR. I'm not using a biased source. A biased source would be if I had gone to, I don't know, MSNBC, or I'd gone to any source that's extremely progressive, liberal, whatever you want to call it, leftist, I don't care. This isn't about politics anymore. So I purposely picked this source because it is unbiased. And NPR takes time to investigate and look at every single piece of information. And as it stands right now, Medicaid is on the chopping block. So let that sink in. The people who voted for this administration and their representatives, especially here in Oklahoma, all of our representatives are Republican. All of our senators are Republican. And I have reached out to them. I have emailed, I have called, whether it was about RFK Jr. or it was about this specific thing, Medicaid cuts. They would be very unpopular here in Oklahoma, and it would not be serving the constituents of this state.